Hello everyone and welcome back to more AEW and TEW 2020. We are here still in the first week of April as we get to our first real show of Rampage. Next week will be when Rampage is actually finally set as an actual show instead of just an event. So that will be something to look forward to. Right here, just introducing the commentary team for Rampage. Glenn Jacobs, Kane, Fuka, and Tony Schiavone. Fuka and Glenn Jacobs, they have good chemistry on commentary together, and Tony Schiavone is just the elder statesman in terms of announcing. Again, we're still going to use Jim Ross for events, but I am not a fan of his commentary in real life, and also, he's old, so. Our opening match is Kevin Steen's first match in AEW as he defeats Willy Mack with a package pile driver. Afterwards, MJF gets to the stage and he starts to taunt Kevin Steen. He says, "How fitting of someone of your stature, let's say, would go against someone of a similar size. I mean, we all know that you're not the most fit person out there, Steen. I guess it's a good thing that you have your skinny buddy and Rammies to Bay, because we've got to get people who are actually in shape on the card. But hell, why do you think Willie Mack is even with Scott Steiner? But you know what? That doesn't really matter to me. I don't care how fat you are, Kevin Steen. What matters is that you attacked me in a cowardly manner. And I can't just lay down and let that happen. You've messed with the wrong man, Steen." And, of course, immediate hypocrisy as Griffin Slade and Chris Bay rush out from the crowd into the ring. They start beating down Steen for a bit. MJF eventually calls them off. He's like, "Oh no, I don't want to be dirty. Oh, how dare you guys do that dirty fighting. Oh no, I'm gonna have to reprimand you guys." Obviously, he's not going to. He immediately says, "Hey, you attacked me in a cowardly manner. That's bad. I'm gonna attack you in a cowardly manner. That's fine." MJF is... I still need to... I need to get back in the swing of MJF promos. This doesn't feel MJF enough, but oh well. After this, Trish Stratus, who have decided to make the interviewer for Rampage, she interviews Britt Baker about the ad that the Bankroll put out about her a few weeks ago. I think it was actually last week. As expected, Britt is unhappy with the ad, and she says that if Big Swole wants to prove that she's all that, she'll take Britt on in the ring, instead of just hiding behind a screen, speaking with cheap words. That would be something that's good with Rampage, is that I'll be able to get some of the lesser storylines, and that's, I mean, Rampage is an A show, but a B-A show. That makes sense. Like, Dynamite is where the main things happen. Rampage, still important stuff is happening, but it'll be important stuff with more of the mid-card people. I will obviously get some top-of-the-line feuds in, but Rampage is going to be where I really focus on the depth. Dynamite is, it's the crown jewel is Dynamite. Rampage is, you're really training up, you're building people up. That'll be kind of what I'll mainly use Rampage for. Getting people who... Because I do have a very, very big roster. That's one thing I have a problem with. I have, 200 people. And I'm not using most of them. So Rampage, that's a good way to get more people used. First match of the TBS title tournament is Roxy defeating Thunder Rose with a quick cradle. Maria de Pasqua had interrupted She Distract, and Roxy and Thunder Rosa have good chemistry. Huh. That'll be interesting to note. Roxy 34, Thunder Rosa 58. Maria, she headed out to the ring during the match, distracted Thunder Rosa, allowing Roxy to get the roll-up. Glenn Jacobs and Fuka discuss the events on Dark that led to this as well, and as Roxy is celebrating in the ring, Thunder Rosa chases Maria de Pasqua out to the backstage area. I'm imagining probably by this point Kane is just not the mayor anymore, so we can get on the road. Or maybe he is. I don't know. Just, quick stop out on Saturdays. Who knows? Brody's supposed to be on screen. But Brody Lee's seen in the office of the Dark Order. It is looking noticeably empty, and he says, "Cody Rhodes has been a thorn in my side for too long. I claimed the TNT title from him a year ago. Yeah, no, a year ago, Jesus. And now I have the chance for gold once more. But I know that I need to earn this myself. My Dark Order has had little going for them, and I've sent most of them away to recruit more people for me, more useful people for me, and I'm not going to let myself lose on a scale such like this, I will claim that US title. Most of the Dark Order is on DPW. Brody Lee, he wants the US title. He deserves some mid-card stuff, because he's very good. Rest in peace, Brody Lee. Then, another match, and then the first match of the US title tournament, Bronson Steiner actually defeats Rey Fenix. Of course, it was a cheap win. Rey Fenix distracted by Isaiah Cassidy, allowing Bronson Steiner to pick up the win. Private Party interrupted the flow of the match by hitting... oops, that was just supposed to be... so, more of the interrupt the flow of the match by getting... they're on the stage, their music plays, they're just chilling out there. And eventually Bronson Steiner probably, tosses Phoenix down to the top rope, submission, picks up the win. Phoenix and Penta are pissed off by this, and they demand that the Private Party come into the ring to answer for knocking Phoenix out of the tournament. But the Godfather and the Private Party are just kind of dancing. They're just vibing, really. And they eventually just head backstage. A vignette then plays, showing the inside of the VIP's lounge. Evidently, Deonna and Tenille are just kind of showing off how rich they are, how good they are, in a vlog-style format. Just, going over the VIP's lounge. And they're stopped when they see members of their staff scared away. It's supposed to be scared away, not stared away, by Ham's Katana, who's just devouring food at the buffet table. Deonna and Tenille demand to know who let Hams in, and when the employee who did that revealed himself, probably just like, yeah, it was me, she was asking to get in. Those two fire him immediately before they escort Hams out by force. Probably just each one takes an arm, drags her off. Segment ends, Morgan Daniels walks into the frame, she's returned from the bathroom or something, and she sees Hams getting taken away by the VIPs, and she's like, oh, come on, Hams. Runs after him. This is definitely a feud that is not based around fighting, just fun. Hams is not very much of a fighter-based person. Anna Jay defeats Jade Cargill. Oh, interesting. Tony and Fuka have good chemistry. I knew about, Kane and Fuka, but Tony and Fuka is also interesting. After this, Ashley Flair is seen marching to the office of Paul Heyman down in Jacksonville, ranting about how none of her or her court report into the TBS title tournament. But when she reaches the office, she finds out that Heyman had left for the day. When she turns around, Shotzi's there in her mini, that's supposed to say her, not his. She shoots out a foam missile at Ashley Flair, says that Heyman had just left a few minutes prior. Flair is irritated by Shotzi being a weirdo. It's like, no, not worth it. Walks away. Shotzi's just kinda chill. Shotzi's just having fun, really. And Jonathan Gresham then actually had a draw with ZSJ. Not many times I've had the time limit draw, but that is what's happening here. Technical masterclass. This one because they're both incredibly good technical wrestlers. But tied there. And Tony Banks is actually surprisingly okay with the time limit draw between ZSJ and Gresham. He applauds both on their performances, but he says that the match, just tying in it, isn't good enough. The two will need to go to a point where one is proven to be better. And Gresham, he offers a handshake to Sabre Jr. Sabre Jr. accepts it, and as that's happening, Banks is like, hey, Fred Yehi, you're also one of the best technical wrestlers. You can join whenever you want. And hell, if there's anyone else who's a really good technical wrestler, which there are plenty, they can come along too. After this, Io Shirai is seen in a vignette training for a match. She talks over her own training montage and says that next week she's ready to take on Kairi's match on Rampage. She knows that Kairi is a tough opponent, but Io is the reigning women's wrestler of the year. She's not going to let Kairi take her down a peg so early into her AEW career. And in our main event, Takahashi defeats Jacob Fatu in the US title tournament. Very evenly rated, 73 rated show. Pretty nice. We could get a little bit better, but still, this is definitely a more traditional show. I liked booking this. I'm using a lot of people that I don't usually use. Dynamite, again, that's where I'm going to have a lot of the main story progression, but this one, Rampage, probably going to get lesser ratings. But still, I think it'll be fun. I had fun with booking this, because there's a lot of people that I don't usually use. So, yeah. Next up will be the second Dynamite of the Rampage era. But until then, that will be it for this time.